Can you just explain, to me, if I am sitting in RTA, what am I buying from you?
At the moment, what you're buying is a much greater in-depth detail of what your traffic situation is. At the moment, the current technology is using magnetic anomalies, which is literally an iron coil buried underneath a traffic light, and as vehicles go over that, that registers one vehicle, whether it be motorbike, bicycle, horse and cart, unimportant, it just registers as one. Now there's a hell of a difference between, say, a 40-foot articulated lorry weighing 60 tons going over it and like your Toyota Prius. Now, what our sensors are doing is it's giving you much greater clarity of where your traffic is and what it's made up of. Because if you need to get somewhere in a hurry, case in point with your comments on ambulances or emergency vehicles or anything of that ilk, you'd want to know if that little bit of congestion on your roadmap is, say, 12 articulated lorries, or is it a couple of grandmothers taking their cars out for a 30k an hour walk? You're going to want to know where to go. Because if you have, in the case of EMS, I used to be a trained paramedic. I've let my things lapse. I know I have got 8 minutes to get from wherever I am to that person bleeding on the side of the road. That's not a lot of time. I want to know within milliseconds of what my route is taking. Now, my role within the paramedic field was combat medical tech within the British Army. And yeah, that was great. We had access to helicopters. One call sign shouts on the radio, okay, and we've got £1.5 million of aircraft coming to pick us up. Civilian life, you can't actually do that. But what we can do is utilize the data and the information that we're getting for relatively low cost to get from point A to point B.
So I'm trying to visualize it. So effectively, your data. So if those are the various routes, and you want to get from here to here, your data will enable us to understand. Oh, this particular road is congested.
Yes.
This is where articulated lorries are, but this is easier, so you can actually pass through that, and that's happening in real time.
That will be happening in real time. Okay, not only will it be happening in real time, but you will be having a semi-processed data stream coming towards you. Now, by semi-processed, we're inquiring at the moment about installing localized AI within the small nodes that will be mounting on major street corners that allow cellular communications between the Dubai police headquarters and our system. Now, with that, if the data systems can be, if the data stream you're receiving as an emergency service can already be told there is congestion at here, here, and here, without going back to the Dubai headquarters, okay, to then come back out again, you're saving yourself a couple of seconds there. And in this game, points equal prizes.
Indeed, and you're now overlaying this with autonomous vehicles also, because
The autonomous vehicles is the end game.
I see.
Because what we want to do is to be having the situation in such a finite mode, such a refined mode, that we can effectively remove traffic lights. So we automatically know that your autonomous vehicle and mine, even though they're approaching the junction at the same time, will pass, much like what you see in like one of those computer-generated images where vehicles are traveling 30 miles an hour, you slow down to 28, you miss them, but you carry on going, not a problem.
Right.
That's how we want to do. That's how we eventually want to go. But we've got to do baby steps, and the amount of data that we're going to generate will be able to turn around to you and say, "End game, autonomous vehicles are live. This is how it's going to work. We know it's working because it's been working for the past 5 years."
So what's the sort of traction? I know you said you're a young company, just 5 months old, but and this is something which is at the government level and so on. So are you getting good traction in terms of getting your business?
The traction we're getting is, for a 5-month-old company, very, very positive. Like I said, Dubai Police sponsored us to come here on a concept and a prototype, which is quite an experience in itself. But also we've got traction within other UK councils. Cardiff is particular in dealing with its issues. We've made tentative comments within London and so forth to say, we've got this, Can we help you with it? And at the moment, subject to the government bureaucracy, it's very, very positive.
Wonderful. Sir, would you have a question? Last one?
Of course.
Usually.
Yes.
This does not fit only for autonomous car, for any car.
Any car at all.
Type. You being here, what do you think that the government will do when you are ready? Don't you think they might put a tender, and then all the study you've done, you would lose what you've done, and somebody might come with a better or ideal? I don't know. It's the government doesn't take from you directly. They have to go with the tender.
They they're offering a tendering process. However, a lot of the studies that we've done and a lot of our IP stuff, all of the stuff that we're doing is bespoke. So all of the studies that we were doing is purely for our system. So if they want to use the studies, I can't stop them, but the studies that we will be doing will not overlap with any other technology.
We have something together, I think. We have a route planning, route optimization in our own system. It depends on the data we are getting from different various information, from RTA buses, from RTA taxis,
Yes.
from different things. Also, we are working with the HERE map and with Google Map. We're getting a lot of data from there. Exactly what you're saying, that driving coming from Abu Dhabi to Dubai, the system, the navigation system will tell you, take this route because that road is closed or this or that. But not yet using sensors or IoT or artificial intelligence sensors. I think we could have something together to embed it in our system, which is already used by Dubai Police, which will be very good to just go back to Mr. El Mirri and tell him, listen, this is a working solution. We can give it to you today.
Yes, you could. However, all the stuff that you've just mentioned is event-driven.
Yes.
Meaning a taxi has to speed up by a certain set of parameters. A bus has to move a certain set of meters. All right? Our system, you don't have to do that. The traffic could be stationary, it'll still be reporting. You do have a lot of data at the moment, but all of it is event-driven and timed processed, meaning that all of your data has to be transmitted to somewhere, centralized, processed, detailed, and then pushed out onto your Google Maps, onto your Apple Maps, onto your Waze. Our system removes the centralized processing issues, meaning it's a faster turnaround time for the subscribers.
Excellent.